Hey, how's everybody doing?
How we doing?
Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here. Who here was at the gig on, Saturday night and last night?
I remember
locally?
seeing you. Yeah.
How was it? It was amazing. Oh, you remember these two?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm serious. As I'm looking out in the crowd, you were to the right of me. Yeah, all right,
Is
there we go.
that true? That is true. That's impressive.
Hey.
You made an impression. Congratulations, ladies.
There we go.
Welcome. Thanks for being here. Tell me something. At live shows, is a revivalist audience well-behaved? How would you characterize your typical audience?
They're the best in the worst way. You know, I mean, it's a rock and roll show, so it's like the energy's high. You know, people are just belting the lyrics. Yeah, I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah, at a typical show, they're well behaved. You know, they're having fun, but nobody's harming anybody.
Yeah, no,
generally.
that's what I mean. You know, I'm not, yeah.
At the last frat show that we played, which is maybe the last frat show we'll ever play, about 2 seconds after walking on stage, I got pegged with a full can of beer. Not even an open can of beer, just like a closed can of beer.
What? I mean, why? Like, why hurt the people you've paid to go see? I don't understand that.
People are crazy.
Just amped up to see us, you know?
Well, would that have been a rev head? I understand you're hardcore.
Definitely not.
No.
Your hardcore fans are called rev heads. Do we have any rev heads here? No. Yes. Nice mix of softcore and hardcore out here.
There we go.
David, earlier this month, I'm about to get a little bit graphic. Earlier this month, you posted a picture of you with blood gushing down your face. Lovely. Yeah. While you were live on stage.
Here in the flesh.
What happened?
Oh, man. Another beer can. Sorry, no. I was out in the crowd. I was in like the basically the corridor between like the general audience and the VIP, and there's just kind of like that. You know, you've been to concerts where there's like that long kind of thing separating. And I was running back to the stage, doing this kind of thing, giving everybody high fives, just all the way, you know, fully in it, and clipped one of the 2x4s that was setting out there on the ground to kind of hold the barricade up. Took a nice little fall, and I guess I don't really, honestly, I didn't even really know that I had hit my head. I mean, I felt a little bit, but like, wasn't really anything to like, you know. I had no idea until I was like just tasting blood. It was just like, pretty graphic.
And yet you finished the set, which is admirable.
Finished the song, finished the set, yeah.
And then got 8 stitches.
Yeah.
That's
They wanted to staple me, but they didn't have them. Oh. I was like, I'm really glad that they didn't have the staples. I don't know, staples going into your head. It's something that you're
Doesn't
supposed to put,
sound
like,
nice,
term
does it?
papers together with, not your scalp.
I'm glad you're better, although perhaps the hat is covering up some staples scarring.
Honestly, it's crazy.
This hat used to be white.
It
used to be white, yo. Apparently, head wounds heal like the fastest of any place on your body. So like it was like 8 staples out in a week, basically healed. Interesting. I would have thought longer.
Let's go back to the beginning where you guys met. You founded the band, the two of you, and you met at a cemetery, essentially opposite the cemetery, but let's just say at the cemetery because it's more mysterious. Tell us about that moment.
Well, Dave lived across
actually,
the
no,
street.
it was in a karaoke place, right?
Yeah, he was just crushing some Christina Aguilera.
No, it was
karaoke.
Genuine. Sorry, I'm just kidding. We had this joke. We were going to... Anyways, you want the real story?
You were going to rewrite history.
We're going to rewrite history up here for
please.
y'all. Yeah. You can tell.
Dave lived across the street from the cemetery in New Orleans, and I was biking home. I was a student at Tulane University, and he was on his front porch playing guitar and singing and killing it, as he's known to do. And I just stopped to listen, and because he sounded really good. And he stopped playing. He was like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" I was like, "Don't mind me, man. Finish, keep playing. You sound good." So, you know, he finishes a song and we strike up a conversation, and he asked me if I play. I show him some things, and that's the rest is history.
We had a guitar here because we would act it out a little bit for you, but
We
maybe
do
we'll
a whole shtick that
These guys would have to be our headstones across the
Oh
street.
man, yeah.
There are 7 of you all together. It's a pretty big band. Where are the other 5 right now?
About to get on a plane.
Sleeping.
About to get on a plane, I think.
I think they're heading to the air. It's 11 right now. Yeah, they're heading to the airport.
They're in a Sprinter, headed to the airport.
What is it like touring when there are 7 of you? I mean, does the tour bus just sort of
Well, there's
have
actually
this?
12.
There are 12.
5 crew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're all together in a tour
Summer
bus.
camp.
Yeah.
Does the smell of dirty socks just permeate the bus?
We actually keep it
We
pretty
nipped that in the
clean,
bud
yeah.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, there has to be some personality clashes, or do you ever have any sort of troubling moments together?
I just like to let it build up slowly over a decade and then just let it explode all at once. So, you know.
Yeah, you know, there's definitely that stuff, you know, that happens. Just like, you know, I mean, it's like with anything, you got 11 dudes and 1 girl, and I think actually bringing Amy into the mix kind of chilled things out. She's just an amazing person and a very sweet soul, and yeah, I think things are on a good path right now for sure.
She's our stage manager.
She's our stage manager, yeah.
Does she also step in as a mediator?
Not really, but it's just more of just like a general vibe thing, I think, you know? I mean, it's good.
I think being on the bus too has helped ease the heightened levels that could happen sometimes when you're not getting a lot of sleep on tour. We switched over to touring in a tour bus maybe about a year ago, and when you're spending 4 to 7 or however many hours every day just sitting in a van traveling from gig to gig, and then you're really tired also, you know, you're gonna get grumpy.
You're gonna get a little grumpy
Yeah.
sometimes. A little bit.
So the comfort level, you know,
Yeah,
has ameliorated that situation.
You've been a band for about 10 years now. Congratulations, that's
Thank
great.
you.
What's one of the most significant changes that you've observed with the way you function as a band, whether it's musically or personally?
Oof. There hasn't been too many.
Well,
I don't know.
I guess the big change is we've had phases of our career. So like the first maybe 5 years, we were completely independent. We didn't have management. We didn't even really have a booking agent. We were like emailing clubs, begging to let us play after their open mic night or something. You know, for the first 5 years, and we're hitting the road like that. So and then you get management coming involved, and we kept transitioning different managers and gradually getting better and better as a band and on the business side. So culturally, I think there's been these shifts as it moves away from us having to decide every single thing that we do, and trusting other people to do a job really well. I don't know. That's an example. Of
Yeah,
one
no,
thing.
I will concur.
You feel me, dog?
I will concur.
Okay.
What he said. I want to talk about your amazing hit song, Wish I Knew You. It's fast approaching 11 million streams on Spotify.
Oh, wow.
That's great. It's in the top 5 on alternative radio as of today. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Keep talking about it. Thank you. Seriously.
Well, we will keep talking about it. What is it about this song, do you think, that resonates with listeners?
I think there's something about the sentiment of, you know, wishing you had a little more time with somebody that you truly care about. And, you know, thinking, man, you know, I could have been hanging with this person for my whole life, but I just met him now, and it's cool. We're good. But, you know, just wish sometimes you had, I don't know, like, I think it works for the younger generation and also the older generation. So it's kind of one of those things. And we've also, I don't know, I think it also has a pretty universal. There were so many things like people have emailed me like, "Is this what this song means? Is this what this song means?" Like, I didn't know my mom when I was young. I don't know my dad. You know, like, so it's pretty universal in that respect. Which I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, that too. So yeah.
Do you bring some of those different angles or interpretations to your performance of the song? Do you think about those stories?
We brought the one to the music video. I definitely think about it. It's interesting when when there's kids in the audience, they're always really just belting that. I wish I knew you when I was young, and I'm like, what are they getting out of that? Because they're like 5, you know, like I don't know. It's interesting.
Soon you're going to perform a couple of songs acoustically. Yay, that's very exciting. Your live shows, though, they're rocking. So what do you like about stripping down or stripping it down? I assume you're not going to strip down before you do the strip down.
You don't know with this guy. You don't know.
Do you need me to ask the question again?
Yeah. What was the question?
Just go on YouTube.
What do we like about doing it acoustic?
What do you like about stripping it down?
I love playing acoustic. It's a totally different vibe, and we even try to bring that sort of intimacy to the full rocking show.
Yeah, I think it's good for people to kind of hear sometimes the essence of it. You know, it's like here's where it kind of started. Or sometimes it doesn't start that way, but, you can always break. I feel like a good song, if it can live in the acoustic world, that's, you really got something there. Not all songs can really work in this environment. So it's good for people to
You also can't fake it.
Exactly.
There's an honesty.
It's like there's no smoke and mirrors here.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Seeing as you have been in this business now for a decade, what would you say at the moment is one of the most encouraging aspects of the music business? Sorry I'm making you think.
No, this is great. I love to think.
In general.
I would say that there's so many ways to get your music out there nowadays that there weren't 5 or even 10 years ago. It's like you really have the opportunity to, if you have some talent, if you have some drive, if you have the want to be successful, the road and the pathways, are there for you to do that.
To make it on your own.
To make it on your own, exactly. And then, if you really got something, that's when phone calls and the people are going to start knocking, Then you can tell them no or give me more money.
Something that comes with fame is lots of interviews like we're doing now. What's the most ridiculous question you've ever been asked, not including this one?
Woo. Let me think about this.
Remember that horrible interview in L.A.? Those girls.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
They were just trying to get us in trouble.
Yeah.
Straight up. What was the question?
It was just all kind of
it was super raunch.
Yeah, raunch city. Yeah.
What was the question?
Hidden Valley raunch dressing.
Hidden Valley raunch right there. Man, we really need to remember this.
It was what was the most awkward sexual experience you've ever had? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was probably right there for the interview. I was like, not gonna answer this question.
You shouldn't answer that, buddy. You should just keep that one quiet.
Yeah.
So, Zach, what was the most awkward sexual experience you've ever had?
Well, this one time in Key West. No.
Yeah.
Very hot and steamy in Key West. What's next for the Revivalists?
We're going to Key West. I'm just kidding. Well, we're going to go home for a few days. We're going to record some demos in the studio, and then we're going to probably go play a few more shows. We're doing Jazz Fest. That's going to be, oh my God, it's always the most amazing time there. We're playing Memphis in May, a festival. So yeah, Just
And
more
also,
shows.
can I just jump in? And
Yeah,
in
jump
case
on
In
in.
case you weren't aware, you're also
Come on.
headlining Central Park Summer Stage.
Yes.
Here in NYC. That's going to be awesome.
In August.
I bet you'll
yeah.
see all these same faces in the audience.
Please come on down.
I better see you. Same spot. It's your spot.
All right, speaking of these lovely faces, do we have any questions from our audience today?
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey.
How you doing?
Big fans. Love your energy, love your music. Obviously, I wouldn't trekked in to come see you guys. But so the question is, we know how you guys found the band. Who are the last couple of members that joined the band, and how did they come aboard?
Great question. So let's just work chronologically here. Yeah.
You got it.
Okay. So Andrew Campanelli, our drummer, is also a founding member. I met him at Tipitina's, which is a club in New Orleans. They have music clinics, student music clinics every Sunday morning. So he was with us from the beginning. George Gekas on bass he came in a couple months later. He went to Loyola with Andrew. After that would be Rob Ingraham on saxophone. He was a student at Tulane as well. We had jazz stuff together there and also psychology stuff. He was my lab partner in psychopharmacology, and
They did fun things.
we had to do these experiments on rats. He took the rat's temperature. You know, there's only
Rectally.
one way to do that. Yeah. So, just a nice little detail we like.
This is the real deal, y'all.
And then Mike Girardot. Excuse me, Ed Williams. How did we meet Ed? He's the pedal steel player.
I think
we all met in New Orleans,
Me and
so,
Rob, he did. I went to a party at his house one time. I feel like
I was at that party too.
I think that was what it was. We jammed upstairs for like 5 hours, and then me and Ed and Rob started jamming.
Well, he was jamming also with Ed and with George and Camp too. I
Yeah,
think.
something like that. They were like,
But
they
he
were in
started
some other
sitting
kind of, they were
and
in
it
some
was
other
great,
band.
So
yeah.
he ended up joining the band.
It was like it's New Orleans, so there's just like bands everywhere.
And then Mike Girardot, keys
Was
and
in
trumpet. is
every band in
like
New
every
Orleans.
band, and he's a great showman and
Yeah.
awesome at what he does. So, yeah.
Yep.
Hey guys, thank you for coming.
Hello.
So my question is, do you guys like headlining more than maybe like the smaller shows, like you mentioned the frat show? And I'm sure you, in the beginning, you probably played some small clubs and lounges and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'll say that. I mean, I love headlining. I'll say that it's one of those things where it's like you get a packed, sweaty club with 200 people right in your face. Sometimes the vibe doesn't get better than that. Like I don't care if you're like at an arena playing to 15,000 people. It's just like there's something that comes along with that energy of just being close. I mean, that's why the Stones will go out and, when they're going to go on a tour, they'll go play these smaller rooms, and just announce 1 hour before or whatever. Because, I mean, there's just something about that.
Yeah, you could feel the reaction.
Yeah, you can feel it. You're not going to get that in an arena.
Steve Martin, this is kind of random, but in Steve Martin's book, he talks about how when he started doing stand-up comedy in arenas, it wasn't fun at all anymore for him after that because the fun of it for him was like gauging the audience interaction, and stand-up comedy in an arena is.
Yeah, that's really what a lot about, especially our music, is like interaction and feeding off the energy of the crowd. And if you're like that far away, it's tough to kind of get that equation to click. So yeah.
I think we have time for one more.
Hey guys. So I was in New Orleans a few years ago during Jazz Fest, and I didn't go to Jazz Fest, but just the scene was awesome. Just people playing on the street.
The after shows are amazing.
Yeah. Did you guys like play ever like on the street or like with jam with other people before?
We have
you
played
got
on the
together?
street.
Like one time we did, like the first.
We did like
first
twice,
one.
right?
I think we went into the quarter one time. Yeah.
On Decatur.
Yeah.
And there was one time in front of this other store, I remember. Remember? We met some people.
What
I
store?
don't
What are
know,
you talking
whatever.
about?
I don't know.
Maybe like on tour
Remember?
we did it one time. We didn't do a lot of busking, no.
We did not do a lot of busking, but we have done it.
I'm into that, though.
There's a picture. There's some documentation of that.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, well, you guys
no.
need to go grab your guitars and treat us all to a couple of songs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank y'all.